And we're live on a Tuesday. Got the club going up on a Tuesday. What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, messenger of God, child of God, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am the Lilith reincarnated here on a Tuesday. In order to keep up with me, you would have to seen the video I posted last night and all the shit I posted before that. I made a cool video last night. We talked about belief systems of Judaism and Muslims and Jewish mysticism. That could be good stuff. What else? I don't know. That was yesterday. Today's today. As you can hear, I am shuffling the cards. I'm going to check see where we're supposed to put our focus on today. What God has for us today. How are you guys? You feeling good? I feel good. Hey, there's this movie I want to find. I keep seeing these like little clips of it on Instagram about something me before you. It's a love story. It's some handicapped man and the woman that came to take care of him. I'm really excited to see this. I gotta find this fucker. I finally figured out what it was called. I was like, I had to Google the names of the characters. I'm like, what is this movie I keep seeing? I don't know. Have you seen it? Looks good. Looks like a tearjerker. Like, oh, wonderful. Don't you love that shit? Where are we at? I don't know. I gotta do laundry, clean my car, do some fucking bullshit. I have to Cinderella today. Use this energy for something useful. I'm hoping for something, some spark of genius, or some kind of adventure pokes its head around the corner soon. Something, some kind of, transmission or message of some kind of something. Where we at, God? There we go. I gotta double check. I'm pretty sure that's the King of Cups. I mean, it could be the Queen. Why? Because the pictures are misleading. They lead you into your own wherever. Give me a second. Knight. What do we got? Nurturer of Cups. Yeah, it's the Queen. It's the Queen. Alright, so I looked it up in there. We're supposed to be in a loving energy. Do you feel it? I feel it. I'll feel it. The Queen of Cups in the opposite is a really nasty, nasty wench. Nasty. The Queen of Cups sits between land and water, practicality and emotions, balancing both, like the High Priestess. That's why they're always referred to that. You can't be the High Priestess without your heart space. Cannot do it. Let's see here. She's connected to the world of imagination and the conscious spiritual forces that underline life, but she's able to manifest them into the physical world, bringing the harvest to fruition. And that's where you have to understand that each of these layers of you all have their own potency and powers, because the High Priestess can just sit there and watch. The action has to be taken in the actual card, you know what I mean, in a different card. I can be the High Priestess, but that's all. I am the High Priestess all the time, but I have to move that energy through thing. And so, like, the example is, the Queen of Cups can do that of the High Priestess, but she can bring it into the, she's a magician with it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the High Priestess just reveals it all. What do you do with the revealing? Right? When the Queen of Cups appears in your cards, she calls upon you to demonstrate love and true compassion in order to help others. You must trust your own intuition rather than what others tell you or what logic dictates. Though you need to emphasize with those in need, be careful not to blur the boundaries and lose yourself in the process. I'm just kind of being quiet. I'm reliving. I literally lit this girl up last night. I did. I lit her up real hard. When it's time, it's time. I have to wait until it's time, dude. But it was time. And the essence is like, I'm here to make people aware of their actions. You're not aware of what you're doing, dude. And at this point, here I am. I'm packing up my stuff. I know how this goes. I know the next moment. The next moment is the fight. I know what happens when we start this fire. You know what I mean? But there wasn't much of a fight to be had. But that's it. It's like you need to empathize with those in need. Be careful not to blur the boundaries and lose yourself in the process. And that's it too. Is like, she needs guidance. But be careful not to blur the boundaries and lose yourself in the process. Like, take it too serious. Because I do. I take it very serious. When it's time to be serious, I get real serious. This is serious. No, but what I meant to say, no, but what you said was, now become aware of what you're doing. No more. You know what I mean? When I speak, it's a lot of kindness, but when I have to fucking, you know what I mean? When I have to fucking pull my pants up, dude, you're gonna hear the tone in my voice. Sometimes the Queen of Cups advises you to understand your emotions in response to the present circumstances. What happened, bro? God, see, this is why people don't want to be my friends, because they become part of, you know what I mean, the story. How do I say it without being so ugly and blunt like I told her? And that's what it is. How do you do this better? Was there a better way to say it? That's why I'm reliving these words. Could there have been a better way I could have said this? No, I pulled out the sword. What did I tell her? I said, you're fucking selling more than fucking weed. You're selling yourself. You expect other girls to step up their fucking hustle and to be like you, and you know what I mean, and put it all on like you. It's a job for them. It's just a fucking job. They're not there to hustle these people and get extra money out of them. You're selling yourself for your tips. That's not what all bud tenders do. You go to 2 locations where you act like that. If you get a job at any of these other locations, they're going to tell you to tone it down, bro. And then you're sitting here playing victim to the fact that you make people not like you. You're putting on a show and they don't like the show. And I said, if I was working with you, I'd talk about you every day, bro. Let me tell you what she did today. Let me tell you how far this girl went to make some money today. In the essence, you know, if you work in the service industry, you work off of tips. So she works her tips, and that's why people hate her, because she's literally pulling in fucking stripper money. But she's literally doing the job to get it done, and she expects other people to do it and not to hate on her while she's doing it. You don't do that in this type of industry, bro. She's like, if you sell drugs. No, bitch, you don't sell drugs. You don't sell drugs. You got this hustler mentality out there, and that'll get you, and I told you the first time I met you, all of that, where I come from, will get you fucked up. You can't look like that where I come from. You can't even. You're asking. You're a mark. She's like, where, Denver? I was like, no, that's why you walk around Denver like this. I can't take you out of Denver like this. You're going to get us fucked up. You're going to get us robbed, raped, and fucking kidnapped out here trying to look like that. You're a whole setup walking around like this. So then she goes out looking like that. And that's what I mean is I was that bitch, bro. Doing the most. And she says it. Even when I'm not looking like this, I'm doing the most. Because you're aware you're doing the most. Do you hear yourself? I ain't telling you shit. You're already aware of it. You just don't want to change it. You think that people need to come to your level. And you need to dumb yourself down to theirs. Nobody works that hard at a fucking dispensary. That's what I told her, bro. I lit her up. I got real loud in her face about it. You ain't got to do all that to sell weed. And you're not going to lose your job. You're working for what? And she gave up 2 other respectable jobs to do this. But I told her, if you weren't at that location, if you weren't on a location on Federal, and you ain't on a location in deep Aurora, you're not going to do that. They put you out like that, bro. And yeah, you put yourself out that as a competition to these other girls, and you wonder why they call you bitch. And that's where I had to do. I had to get real high on it, and then dumb it down real low. Like, look at me. If you go out there, how are they going to look at you? And you know it. As soon as you step out the car, you know. But you do that to have a sense of confidence. But you're doing that, and you're not getting confidence. You're getting hate. You're getting envy. You're getting jealousy, bro. You're getting unapproached, dude. You want to look like a boss bitch, but you can't have, you know what I mean? You're demasculizing men that, you know, even thought they had a chance. Shit like that. Doing all that type of shit. And that's not who you are. It was like, it's all the biggest fucking projection. You are the kindest, most sweetest person I've really actually met out here. You just look like a badass bitch. You met one, but you ain't one. Like, in the sense of, you know how to dress it up and be that to where, it, you know what I mean? People will not approach you because that's what it is. And that's like, it's a whole Marshall, dude. It's a whole Marshall, bro. It's a beautiful Marshall Mathers right there. Like, you would never talk to this girl. You would never talk to this girl. But if you talk to her, she's fucking kind. Super sweet. Very soft-spoken. Very nice. But that's not what you get when she's out there hustling. She out here calling fat bitches and something about a coochie roll. What the fuck is a coochie roll? You can't say that at a job. I don't even know. Don't talk about that. Don't say that. You can't say that. In the sense of, why can't I? Because it's not about conforming. It's about humbling. Being aware of the sensitivity of the words that come out of your mouth. There's a lot of shit people say I can't say. It's because they can't hear it. Do you know what I mean? We do have the freedom of speech, but we have to acknowledge what our speech does. What our, you know what I mean, our projection is. And that's what I told her in the beginning of the conversation. You know, this is a long-ass process of taking yourself apart. Putting a piece of you down so you can be another piece. I was like, when you take off that purse and those chains, I promise, you're going to go without a purse and without a chain. But you might put on a different type of purse and a different chain. I was like, I wear as many chains as you. But mine don't cause fucking, you know what I mean? They don't cause insecurity or greed or hate. Mine cause suspense and fear and respect. Do you know what I mean? It's a different type of thing. I was like, you have to take yourself off to put yourself on. And that's what I said. Every day try. Try to take, you know, a little bit of jewelry off, a little less this. A little less you is not you dumbing you down. It's you becoming more you. Showing who you really are outside of all this. You're still, and that's what you want. You want them to see you as a bad bitch, but you're not. You're kind and sweet and loving. You can't be both. Let them be kind and sweet and loving, and that's what you're going to get in return. Like attracts like. You out here bad, then you're going to attract bad motherfuckers, bad bitches just like you. But then you got to hold down their badass attitude too. And nobody's loving on you like that. And, you know, so we had this really serious heart-to-heart. It's like, you know, you need to understand your emotions in response to the present circumstances. Why did I get all on her like that? Because I was in the other person's shoe. It's like, hold up, swole up. We ain't got to meet your standard. Nobody got to do all that to sell a bag of weed. And that's where I had to dumb her ass down real quick. Dumb down. You're being dumb out here. You're doing the most. And she's like, I need to do this for me. Now let's be honest. You don't feel good without doing all this, but when you do all this, you make other people feel bad. I never saw it like that. See it like that. When I get to my best, it brings out the worst in people, bro. People don't come say hi to me. They don't smile. They don't give me fucking compliments. They don't nothing. They turn their head or they give me an ugly look. That's what I like about not being unseen. Because the attention is not good attention. It's jealousy. Right away. It's not that I look better than anyone. It's my light shines brighter. And they can't compete, so they'd rather just put the light out. Put your lights out. Anyways, and that's what happens to her. She gets it. She's lost jobs. She loses a lot of people just because of, you know what I mean, her appearance, to be honest. And anybody that's been discriminated, but some of us can tone it down, bro. We can control some of it. You ain't gotta have your titties out there. You're doing this on purpose. You're lying, bro. You don't feel good unless someone's staring at that part. That's your favorite part of, you know what I mean? You know what you're doing, bro. You're doing it to make yourself feel better because you need that attention. Put it away. And try to take, you know what I mean? Try to feel good in your skin without people fucking admiring it. Or whatever they're doing with it. Let's see. Out of this can come great creativity, and you may find inspiration or artistic or literary projects. And again, dude, I find lessons to life in everything I experience. And God brings in people for me to, you know what I mean? To see myself, to see how far I came. You know, I was so you, bro. Like, I'm so you. Like, I almost want to tell her, I was going to call her and say, I got some fits, bro. We could do this, but let's do it with a reason. You know what I mean? You want to get fitted and, you know what I mean, go out there, let's do it. But we don't got to be out there on a fucking Tuesday every fucking day of the week. You know what I mean? Looking like the best. Let me put my wig on. Let me do all this shit, bro. Like, I did it, bro. Trust me. Every day. Didn't look anything but A1, bro. And I needed to do that so that I didn't feel insecure. But all I did was make other people feel insecure. It wasn't necessary. It was difficult. It is difficult still for me to go out sometimes without makeup. You know what I mean? It was difficult. You know, I cried real hard when I lost all my belongings. I was like, I don't have anything. Like, I don't even look pretty no more. I can't even pretend no more. I couldn't hide under my hats. I couldn't have my purses. I didn't have all of that. I got stripped down to my actual, you know what I mean, to my bones. I had to sit there and look at my body naked and start to deal with that by itself. We want people to like us, and we'll literally put on and do anything. But in doing it, we're really not likable. All that material, and that's exactly what happened with most of my twin flames, bro. They put on so much on their skin that I just, like, take it off, bro. That's not even who you are. It's disgusting me. Especially Russ. Maybe that's who he always was, and I just didn't know it. Again, I just walked in love, bro. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know their past, their present. I didn't know shit about nobody. I didn't have a judgment. I had a feeling. The Queen of Cups may be a helpful person in your life, a good wife or a mother, warm-hearted friend, healer, counselor, psychic, or a spiritual leader. Or perhaps she is you. She is imaginative and artistic, caring and compassionate, and sometimes feels the sorrows of the world too much and can become depressed. Yeah, I cried real hard about that family. I love them, bro. I wish I could do something. I'd bring them in. For no reason. I have full trust. Straight strangers, bro. I'd give them a room and feed them out of my kitchen and everything, bro. For the rest of their lives. I would. This woman, that woman, and her special need child, they're no harm to no one. They're just trying to live. If they had a place to live, they could live a little bit better. I wouldn't ask nothing of her. She's got her hands full with him. All I'd ask is what to do with him when she's gone. I don't know them, but I hurt for them so bad. Just because I worry. I'm not worried about us. I have no future either, bro. Literally. I mean, other than this, you know, I don't have any security just as they don't. And that's where you got to look at it. It's like God's got them too. God's going to take good care of them. I'll pray harder for them than anybody else. You know what I mean? It's like that's who God said to watch out for, bro. Was the elderly, the widowed, the sick. They're all of them, bro. It's fucking terrible. And that's just the two that are in my life. You know what I mean? That's the two that are in my world. If I stepped out more, there'd be more of them. These people in this building, bro, if I could fucking, you know what I mean? Let me win the lottery. I'll put you up and put you to work, bro. I'll give you a life. I know that's all you want. You just want some purpose. A way to get, you know what I mean? Make some money and a roof over your head. I'll figure out both, dude. We'll build more. I'll get the roof and we'll put you to work, dude. We'll keep your families taken care of. That's my dream. That's my dream, bro. It doesn't matter who you are. You just need a chance. I get it. This is what you gotta do, though. You gotta make some serious changes. You gotta follow some serious rules. You gotta learn about God. That's it. It's a spiritual rehabilitational center. I know you need the basics. We're gonna take care of those. Everybody wants a job. They want a purpose, dude. They want to have their hands, you know what I mean, on something. They want to come home with a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride, a sense of, you know, doing. I did a good job today. I'd get a pat on the back, you know, a sense of a reward in them. I don't want to just give them free falling lives where they just sit around and do nothing like me and don't know, you know, lose their minds trying to find out where they are. I want to give them, you know what I mean, some purpose, some direction, some opportunities, something to keep themselves busy, to keep themselves going, to know that they're going, to see some progress in their lives, whatever they may look like for any of them. Everybody is good for something, dude. And they're all good at something. They're all good at something. What do you like to do all day? If you could do anything, what would you do? Alright, give me a minute. Give me like a week. I'm going to find a place to put you to work, bro. I mean, if I'm a billionaire, why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't you guys help some fucking people, you bitches? I pray for the opportunity. Well, I mean, it was presented to me, but that's what I always wanted that opportunity for, is not for myself. And that's why I'm worthy of such things, because it's not for myself. It's for his children, bro. They're children in a foreign land, just trying to survive. And I you know, here comes Mr. Columbus Day on number 9 on page 99. It's like that's what we were. We were foreign people, you know what I mean, in a foreign land, and the native people helped us until we overtook them and decided we were going to take over. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel the sorrows of the world, and I become depressed. I don't be sad about shit, bro. I be sad about what other people are going through. My feelings, dude, I'm sad about something that I already overcame, and I just need to get over it. My current reality, you know what I mean, there's no new pain to have. There's old pain to be discovered and new experiences. That's not how that works. But many people have painful lives that they're still experiencing, and I feel that pain as I've gone through my own pages of pain. I recognize it on everyone. I want to help you. And mostly all I can do is give you direction, but if you're not fucking listening, then I know you're just walking in the midst of your life in pain. And that kills me. As much as I wanted to, I don't know, fairy tale fucking love the shit out of Bobby, the fact that he's just sitting around unhappy all the time, it just kills me. It just kills me, bro. Knowing that Russ sits in his room, all of my twin flames just sit in rooms of darkness, watching other people live their lives as a self-sacrificing, you know what I mean, behavior. It's just so saddening. That's why I can't tend to them. They're all in a dark space in a room, all alone, just like me. But I am not alone. I got all these fucking spirits and shit. I'd rather be, you know what I mean? That's what I try to teach them, and it's like, you know, and with that is to get out. It's like, you know, it's hard. It's just as hard for me as it is for them, for all different reasons, or maybe all the same reasons. How hard is it for Russ? How hard is it for Marshall? How hard is it for Logic? How hard is it for me to go outside and be just a normal human being? To partake in the things of this life that other people seem to enjoy. We can't even understand why we should do it, let alone get the idea to do it, and then do it, and how crushing it is to do it, just to life. We've cut ourselves off from life, and God's like, go have a life. And, you know, and that's where I encourage you. It's like, yeah, I fall down and I go out there and make a fucking fool of myself, but at least I'm going outside once in a while, and that's what you need to do. And then there was times, you know, like all last year, Marshall made little attempts to, you know, put himself out there. But then you do, and you're like, it's a super pullback. Like, oh, it tasted funny out there. Like, in essence, it's difficult. This is very difficult to put yourself out there. Because she's always a nurturer and has no one to turn to when she has problems. And that's what, you know, I shared this video. It's like there's two men talking. Do I know which two men? Yeah, I know who's talking. I know who's talking about me. But in the essence, it's like, you know, when do you stand back and realize that I'm fighting a spiritual war here, and I'm doing something bigger than sitting around, you know what I mean, fucking navel gazing, thinking about, you know, how I'm gonna get rich and famous. The abundance and the fame comes by doing just this. Trying to solve the world's problems. Finding ways and actually implementing those ways into this world. Telling them to the right people. Pushing for it. Everybody can talk about change, but making changes. The only thing I can do is every day at this moment is change myself. Show people how it's done in myself. And that's what I'm looking at her, and I'm like, damn, you've got such a long ways to go from there to here. How do you take off that much ego and become the Empress? But then I stand there and it's like, it can be done. I was nothing but ego. A big bad bitch. The baddest bitch, bro. The baddest bitch. I'm not the baddest bitch. But it feels good to have a heart, you know what I mean? I'd sit there and I'd see myself and like, why do you talk to people like that? Why do you think like that? Why do I dress like that? You know what I mean? I watch everything, trying to figure myself out and trying to figure out, you know what I mean? People too, the connection. Why can't I connect with people? I don't have anyone to turn because nobody understands what I'm really going through, and I don't expect you to. But then, as I was speaking about Oscar, he understands the dark side of this. He understands the healing journey. He doesn't understand, you know what I mean? And that's all you got to do is understand the process and just go with the flow. I always say this, you can't fix me, bro. Nobody can fix me. I can only do the work as it comes to me. I can't fast forward it. I can't just be fixed. You can't fix a lifetime of pain and suffering. Not in 1 year, not in 2. I thought I could do it in a summer. I didn't know what was in there, bro. And what is it? It's not so much that, it's just the reprogramming, stopping the way that you do things. And I sat there and I told her, I was like, you have no idea how difficult it is to go from where you are, having 3 jobs like I used to, having all of the pride of it, to sitting here and having, you know what I mean, powerless. I have no pride. I'm completely humbled. But that's what God asked me to do as the priestess. I have to, show people, first off, that you can even take it all off and He'll still take care of you. It's a hard-ass motherfucking journey. And that's why I said on a Monday, it's the worst. It's the worst on a Monday. Why? Because every Monday, for every day, every week of my life until I became spiritual, Monday was the beginning of the week so I could seize the fucking week. I worked my hardest on a Monday. I planted seeds of intentions on a Monday. I made all my life's plans on a Monday. It was the most powerful day of my week. I was going to smash a Monday so I could really enjoy a Friday. So every Monday I wake up with that same programming of, I want to go to work. I want to be the best me. Let me suit up. Let me boot up. Let me boss up. I can't do it. God wants me to be the Empress. He wants me to be the High Priestess. None of that is being feminine, bro. That's not a way of life for godly women. It's not that we don't have it in us and we're not fierce. It's that we're not supposed to rule like that. You're hearing Lilith speak of this because this is the lessons that Lilith has to learn. I never understood. I never was even willing to understand why He wanted me to submit to a man. Give up my power to a man when I'm all powerful. I'm learning. Lilith is learning how to submit, which is, again, what she did not do. And it's a hard lesson to learn. I understand how important it is to be soft, to be led, to give Him that power, to submit the power, how great it feels to just take it off for a minute. It feels really good to take the armor off. But you saw me yesterday. I'm sitting there all compassionate, and I see her message, and I'm like, ready. All right, we got confrontation. Hold on. Let me take a breath. I'm ready to fight. Because that's all I ever did. Just putting the fight down is hard. I just spoke of it yesterday, this fire. Not being in control. People are like looking at me, a lot of people judge me, why don't you take control of your life? Why don't you do something with your life? I'm doing the hardest work ever, dude. I'm doing what God's telling me to do. He's telling me to do this. Think about a priest or a priestess, bro. They're not out trying to get a job. It doesn't come with a paycheck, bro. It never did. They don't get paychecks, bro. Not supposed to. Their needs are met. And that's good enough. You don't need the prettiest robes when everybody wears the same robes. Nobody knows if you wore that if Mother Teresa Cabrini or any other mother wore that fucking robe the day before, because it looks like the same robe they wore for their whole lives. They don't need more than one. They're grateful for whatever meal. They all sit together as a family. The whole church sits together. There is a there is a kitchen. They all eat together. There's housing. They all have a bedroom. Nowadays, they probably have Wi-Fi, but why would they have phones? Who are they talking to outside of God in the congregation? They didn't have children. They don't have husbands. The church is their family. The church is their home. The church is everything. They live of this world. They live in this world, but they're not of it. You're not going to see nuns and priests, you know what I mean, in the malls looking for, you know, they might go, you know, but then there's the differences, like if there's a reverend and his wife and their children, there's a different faction. There's a different, you have to be of this world. You have to raise your family into this world with your knowing of God. And that's what I said is the Queen of Cups to the High Priestess. The High Priestess stays at the temple always. The Empress is, you know what I mean? That's what I mean, is like the Queen of Cups, the next stage of the Queen of Cups is the Empress. That all-loving, you know what I mean, but bringing it to the people, you know what I mean? That was Odin's wife. As he worked to control, you know what I mean, to keep the peace, she did so too. She taught the women. She taught the women, the witches, whatever you want to call them. She taught the women how to keep the peace too. The men were led by noble men to how to keep the peace within their, you know, their villages, their homes, and their countries. The women were taught how to keep the peace within their homes, their villages, and their families, or, you know, in their countries. It was all about peacekeeping. The reverse meaning, the Queen of Cups can refer to you or a woman in your life who is unstable and over-emotional mess. I can appear that way the way that I'm so fluid in my emotions. I can go from absolute fire to absolute water. If you see though, I don't get stuck in them. I can breathe them in and breathe them out. That's the control of them. You must experience the emotions. I saw a video, I'm going to share it later, I think. I don't know, I downloaded it maybe. It's talking about angels and demons are real, and this guy's, I don't know, it's just a conversation. He talks about how he talks to the Goetian demons, all 72 of them. And he's like, what is that? It's all the dukes and princes of hell. And he tries to tell them, he's like, you know, they want to come up here because they want to learn, they want to know what it feels like to be human. I told you that's why angels come here. They want to feel the feelings. It's all about feelings. The light is all light. They only know one feeling, and that's of the light. The dark is all dark. They only know one feeling, and that's all dark. The light fears the dark fears the light. They all coexist in this polarized energy, which is the same, and they both, you know, hold it down. To be able to walk through the liminals as I do, which is emotions, to go from dark to light, is all powerful. In the essence, I can go from hell to heaven real fucking fast. And that's where it is in your emotions. You know what I mean? You're looking for this emotional, this abundance, which is nothing more than emotional fulfillment. You're looking for joy and happiness and emotion. You're avoiding pain and suffering and emotion. But the joy and happiness comes after you overcome, you know what I mean, the hard times. Anyone will say it, giving birth. That is the most painful experience ever. It's painful. Your pain and suffering is happening. You know, science comes in and takes that a little bit away. But it's the most painful experience ever to have a human fucking ripped out of your body. But the joy and happiness that comes after. It's the most painful experience to have your body exploded to carry this human. You were beautiful and lovely, and now you're a big baby-making mess. It's pain and suffering of the loss of the old you, the beautiful you, the wonderful you were before you made this human. But here comes the joy of, you know what I mean, of all that pain and all that suffering. Here comes the joy and happiness. You know, all this losing that you guys do. You keep losing and losing and losing and losing. Then one day you catch a win. And it makes all that losing go away. It makes it all worth it. They're just feelings. You can have a winning mentality while everything is still, you're not winning. You can be a loser as a winner. I show you that all the time, these losers. have a fucking loser mentality. What is it? Your feelings. You let them consume you, and you think what you feel. You don't know why you feel that way. So you just sink into it and give yourself all these reasons, excuses to feel that way. Yeah, they hurt me, and they said that, and they left me, and they did this, and they took this, and they did this, and they did this. Meaning your brain, your thoughts are feeding this feeling. Funny how they all work together. So as an emotional mess, I mean, yeah, emotions are messy. We're going to have to work through all of them. All the feelings you never felt before. It is a very big, messy problem. If you can't cry, though, then we got some serious problems. Because that's how they all come out. The tears are the most necessary part of this. If you ask me what's the hardest part about this, crying. It's against your pride. It's against, you don't want people to see you cry. In the middle of crying, you're calling yourself a bitch for crying. You can't, you're telling yourself to stop, and you don't want, and you can't. That is the hardest struggle, is to allow yourself to cry. Cry out of anger, cry out of fear, cry out of pain, cry out of sadness, cry out of happiness. Can you cry? Can you let the waters out? That's how we let them out. You get so happy, what do? You cry. I laugh here so hard I'm crying. I can't see the words. I get so sad, what do? I cry. I get so mad, what do? I cry. What do babies do? They cry. Somehow, when they got big enough to walk, they were made to stop crying. And that's exactly what happens. One is about 1 years old on. Anytime they start crying, you try to stop them. They're not allowed to cry. Because you can't deal with that noise. That's what's wrong with babies. What's the hardest part? They're crying. They never stop crying. So then when they get big enough, you find ways to stop it and never listen to it again. You won't let them cry. Now what's wrong with you? You won't let yourself cry or your kids. You don't want to hear either of it. They say women are a pain in the ass because we're so emotional. Because of something like that, how we'll burst into tears, start getting loud and start crying and being all messy. Confirmation. She uses her victim status to manipulate emotional response from others and is addicted to the drama of this. She's extremely exhausting to be around as she either lashes out or demands sympathy. At the core, her problem is a deep sense of self-loathing, which may stem from past traumas, drug use, food, or alcohol abuse, or simply the awareness that she's wasted her talents and opportunities. She cannot be helped until she genuinely wants to change. This is a part of your feminine side. This is your most strongest feeling. You're either an upright queen or a reversed queen of cups. All of these cards live within you. You take the journey through these cards. Each time you visit them, you try to stand taller in the card. Many times have I done, you know what I mean? Been on the opposite side, and I try to show you that. Like, I can't say victim status. I can't wear the whole card. Some of them I can. But, it's just that. It's like the Queen of Cups is all about your heart. How much of your heart are you giving to others? The Ace of Cups is opening your heart, but the Queen of Cups is how much are you giving to others? The King of Cups is not so much about giving, but managing how much you're giving to others. The Queen of Cups is all giving. Her husband has to tell her to stop. He has to be this one to turn to when she has problems and tell her to calm down and stop worrying about shit like that. Stop worrying about them. They have their own problems. Because why? She cares too much. He has to, you know what I mean? He has to bring her out of that and make her care more about herself and not so much about others. And that's that, you know what I mean? The King of Cups is literally being grounded in your emotions, having that ability to, you know what I mean? In the masculine and the feminine. You get to the King is when, you can masculize it. Now, the king means, why is the king a ruler? It's just the action card of it. It's just the action of it. Anytime you're in a divine masculine, it's in your actions. Or in your mind. Something like that. Anything divine feminine is the heart space. Shall we keep going? What's our spiritual work at hand? Oh god. Choices, choices, choices. Well, we're still in our feelings. We have lots of mixed feelings. Options. You are in discontent, but while daydreaming is pleasurable, you make sure that you're not mistaking illusion for reality. Don't lose yourself in the sensual pleasures like drugs or alcohol. You may have been neglecting your spiritual life, or equally, you might be flittering from one thing to another, confusing fact or fantasy. Do not follow the path of illusion. It is a dead end. Fulfillment cannot be obtained by shortcuts or drugs, and it cannot be bought. The card also means that many opportunities surround you, but you cannot keep all the options open forever. You must make a decision to turn any of them into a reality. Remember, they are not always what they seem, and what appears to be the most appealing choice may turn out to be the most poisoned chalice. And if you make the wrong choice, what happens? You learn a hard lesson. God's all about second chances. You're going to have to walk away from that lesson. And you know what I mean? Clean yourself up and make yourself presentable for more opportunities. Reverse meaning. You're living in a dream world trying to escape the real one, perhaps using drugs or alcohol to do it. This is all about getting high, huh? Alternatively, you may be spending all your time dreaming, meditating, or doing trance work, leaving you ungrounded and unbalanced. You need to come back to earth. What is it that you're afraid of in the real world? Are you letting genuine opportunities pass you by to escape into a fantasy life? Wake up. I don't know where I stand on this. In the sense of there's plenty of options. I told you this already. I haven't made any decisions. I'm doing exactly that. Daydreaming, meditating, and doing trance work. And they're telling me to come back to earth. I try. That's all I can do. It's all I can do. They spent all this time teaching me to stay away from earth, only to try to force me back into it. And it's not an easy transition. I try. I'm not going to sit here and fucking be bad. Like, get up and go get a life. That's a poison chalice. I can go out and do what I need to do that makes me feel, you know what I mean? That my needs are met and shit, but what the fuck am I doing? I mean, seriously. Planning for a future that doesn't exist is stupid. My future isn't... I can hear someone say, create a future. You're not getting this. Nobody is understanding this. It's not about not taking action. It's about only taking action when told so. I'm getting really antsy. I'm getting really antsy to where I've been here almost 2 months and I feel like I should have had a job. I should be moving out. I should have all these things. I shouldn't be sitting here like this. But as soon as I get up, that's what I told my daughter, bro, before she went to school. It's like, I get all excited and I get in my car and I can't go. Is it my mind? No. I mean, perhaps. I can't see where I'm going. There's nowhere to go. And then when I was in this moment, I remember Oklahoma. Please, God, just get me out of here. I couldn't do anything, bro. I had no idea what to do to get out. It took weeks. And what was the idea? To go camping, to run away. Mr. Plum came up with a couple of dollars. I sold what food stamps I had. And I came out. I got out. There was no way out, bro. It's like every day, if I would have just wasted around trying to get jobs, it was too late. They weren't going to hire me. You don't understand the situation I had gotten myself into in that small town. The word had spread. I did it on purpose. I did it to myself. God told me to. He closed all the doors on me, so I couldn't be anything more than what he wanted me to be. And he does it everywhere I go. You don't understand. I can have great ideas, but he doesn't let me move on them. Morgan told me this morning that she got into housing. It's like, damn, she's I'll give you the application. I was like, I don't even have a job, Morgan. She said, neither do I. I'm on TANF. I'm not. And it's like that. It's so appealing, dude. All I gotta do is get a little bit of income, and I could get a house. I could be paying $12 in rent. But then what? It's not what he wants, bro. And that's what I told her last night. The only thing I know is that by August of this year, I will be stable. Because he promised. But yeah, bro. Every week I gotta meet with a social worker and tell her I'm being productive. And actually, I don't lie. I've got to be productive. But I know that the things that I'm doing to meet her requirements are not gonna do anything for me. So I'm sitting here in this place of nothing. But it's where God wants me to be, and it's like, oh. And that's where I see her, and she, in all her power, and all her glory. And I'm like, you have so much to learn. And it's so hard. I can't help you. I can't even figure this out myself. I can't put it down. What? The need to create. The need to play God. The need to be part of. The need to be busy. The need to be useful. I have a purpose, and it's not out there. It's not here in the shelter. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's not a place. I want to play God, bro. I really do. I want to take control of my life. I want to do something with it. But this is my life, and I'm not, that's that surrender. Just surrender, bro. Sometimes I can. Sometimes it gets way too hard. Why? Because things like this, bro. You're like, if I just had a roof over my head, I could focus and I could get my stability. If I just had this, I could get my life together. If I just had this, I could get my life together. It's not true. Because it's not me putting my life together. That's the fight. My mind can tell me where to go apply for a job. But that's not best for me. It's just trying to get me a job. Getting a job takes away all my energy from doing this. Even a part-time job, that's 5 hours a day. Like, how does this work? God, bro, this is what he wants me to do, bro. Just be a bum? Not exactly. Be taken care of by him. And I'm seeing the old lady and the kid again. I would do that too. I'm not against standing in the corner with a sign. If God told me to. If he told me this is what I needed to do for my family, I would do it. He tells me this is what I need to do. And then, you know what I mean? It's like, but this doesn't make money. So no, this changes lives, and I take care of the things that you need money for. And I can't argue, bro. I can't argue when he does that. I've tried, I do. You're not taking good enough care of me. Do you know what that feels like to say that to your father or mother, or to God? Who else is taking care of you? Who else ever took care of you? And that's it. I can't be an empress. I can't be taken care of. Unless I let him take care of me. And yet I wake up every morning wanting to take care of some shit that I know that he's going to take care of for me. What can a woman really do with her life, you know what I mean? But enjoy it. These women that are married to these men that make all this money and take care of them, what do they do with their lives? They enjoy being taken care of. I don't know how to do that yet. Bobby said, are you mad that, you know what I mean, hamburger helpers being taken care of? No. I'm mad that nobody's taking care of me, and I don't know how to even approach this. I don't know how to let it happen. I'm working on it, obviously, but it's like as close as I get, I just turn right back in. My balls grow 3 times bigger than they were the day before. I'm right back in my dark goddess, being a whole ass fucking, you know what I mean, dark god. I wear a man's skin, bro. It just looks really beautiful. I have a mentality. And it's like, imagine, you know what I mean, you go back to God and he says this is the way you gotta live now. How hard it's gonna be to go back home and listen to his rules and not try to, you know what I mean, go back to you know, living in your own apartment and, you know what I mean, buying your own food. And, you know, it's like that, dude. It's like I was all grown and then I had to fucking come back and move in with Dad. And I hate his fucking rules and he never lets me go anywhere and I don't have any friends and I can't do drugs now. Just kidding. It's so hard. But as long as I do it his way, I don't lose. If I just trust him, then everything's okay. It's in the trust that's the fight, though. The battle is the trust. You're supposed to be feeling, you know, sometimes, you know, most of it I'm fine. I trust him. But the skin doesn't. And that's it. My heart knows everything's okay. My body, my mind, wants to do something with itself. It wants to be in control. That's the masculine inside of me. The mentality that I have wants to man up all day and, you know, be part of shit. I want to dig a ditch or build a wall or, you know what I mean, fucking fire a gun or something. No, I don't want to go shopping. I don't want to do laundry. I want to fucking do this shit. I am good about cleaning, though. But in the essence, it's like that's what women do all day. He just wants me to be a woman. I'm like, this is dumb as fuck. How you bitches do this shit all day? Some bitch ass shit. I just want to point out that's why 70 to 80% of my following or my subscribers are men, because I'm healing men more than women. They don't feel me. They don't know where I'm coming from. We need to wake up. What's the outcome? God, fucking tire me out. Love. It always is love. It's all about your heart, bro. All you need is love. This is about pure love. When it appears, it brings an opportunity for deep emotional and spiritual fulfillment. You are surrounded by love, but like water, love is an emotion that flows, and it can be blocked by negative feelings. We do it ourselves. Like, no, don't touch me. Leave me alone. God was just trying to love me Sunday morning. Or Saturday morning. He's just always trying to love me. I'm like, leave me alone. I don't want your loving. And if you refuse his love, then you don't have any love to give. Truthfully. And that's what I said. If I'm not accepting him, then I don't have any of him to give to you. Truthfully. You must open yourself to the power of love by forgiving and letting go of past hurts, allowing fear, grief, sadness, and hatred to trickle away from your heart, and love, healing, abundance, and spiritual connection to pour in. The power of the Ace of Cups will bring healing of the body. And so I told my daughter that. I was like, something's wrong with me. Maybe you should go to the doctor. I was like, I will do nothing. You saw me. I took a shower. I Didn't even drink coffee this morning. I did nothing. But after I take you guys, I will do a meeting, I'll eat a meal, and I will go to sleep for the whole fucking day. I sleep all night, and then sleep most of the day. I'm like hibernating. She's like, maybe you're depressed. I was like, it looks like that, right? I was like, it looks like that, but I go through phases of it, and through this spiritual journey, it says that this is part of it. And then I have to give myself, leeway. It's like every day I'm facing hard truths, and every day I'm blowing through them, and I'm not realizing that that is wearing me out. You know what I mean? Like, just right now, bringing all that up and crying and dropping to the pits of my stomach and pulling all these feelings out is physically fucking draining. But I'd be wondering, like, why do I have more strength? That's what started a lot of this, is like, where is all my strength? And it says it in the alchemical transformation. It's like, you just really do go through this, where you could be, you have tons of strength, and then you can't get out of bed for days. I could, bro. I'll turn this place dark, and unless something wakes me, and I literally have to set an alarm because there's no stopping me, I'll sleep all the way through, bro. I'm so tired. Is it really my body? Nah. It's everything that's going on inside that's like the body can't even hold it. I can't pick up my big fat head. Like, seriously. I will wake up, get all ready, put on makeup, do my hair, all of that. Well, not so much makeup so much. But I have been, re-practicing it and shit. And it's like, and then I just feel like, oh God, I'm exhausted. Like, just putting on the skin to be presentable to people is just so exhausting. Right? I'm like, oh, let me take a break. And then it's like, okay, I get my energy back. It's like, where do I put it? Well, first, let's start with God. And then I do this, and I'm like, I'm exhausted. I am so ready for a meal in and out. I am exhausted. I think a lot of it also, too, because the weather changed, it was literally freezing, is we're still going through that little transition, because once this sun comes out, that's another kind of energy in itself. But it happened, in the beginning of the winter. It's like, dude, I just became exhausted. Like, literally just couldn't do anything. And then you have to look at, well, what have you been doing that's burning you out like that? And you look at the information that you're taking in, and if I'm not physically doing this, where am I putting all my energy? And that's where it can make all sense. But yeah. And that's it too. It's like, not that I don't love you, it's just, please, I don't have anything to give right now. The power of the Ace of Cups will bring healing of the body, mind, and spirit, depending on your connection, or deepening your connection to the divine, and a plentiful flow of life. Whenever the Ace of Cups manifests, it brings love. A new loving relationship may develop, or an existing partnership might move to a newer level of sharing and understanding. There may be celebrations for marriage, engagement, pregnancy, or birth. And what is it? I'm fighting my mind, bro. I go through so much fighting. So much forgiving and letting go of past hurts, facing fears, grief, sadness, and loss, and hatred. I do this all day, bro. All day I've got to take them on. They come over me, bro. I get filled with all kinds of sadness, all kinds of fucking anger, all kinds of fucking fear, all kinds of fucking everything. And I can't sit in it, so I have to take all of my energy to overcome this. Use all my brain capacity, all of my tools to overcome thoughts and feelings. And it knocks me the fuck out, bro. Yeah, I told you a story and you heard me cry for a minute, but do you know how bad that was to go back into that memory and bring it out to you and then pull myself out of it and keep going? Let's talk about one of your sadnesses and see how long it's going to take you to come back out of it when I take you in it. This might take you weeks to recover from this fucking memory. I gotta get through them in a day, bro. I gotta get this shit done. Why? Because there's just around the river bend is another fucking one. And how do they come? Outside. Everything I do outside brings me right back to my inside world. I want to go out there. It's gonna make me fucking face past hurts, fears, grief, sadness, and hatred. That's what it means to be unhealed, bro. You have all of this repressed emotions, and anything can bring it up. Everything brings it up. Because it needs to be dealt with. I can't run from my healing. I can only take so much too, though, dude. If I don't want to go out there, it's because I don't got it in me. It's not that I can't do laundry. It's that I can't stand there and do that. It's that all the people and everything else that sparks my memories and everything else that comes in. It's not just me doing laundry. Some asshole has to come in and talk to me, bring up this whole situation, and I have to turn it into a whole teaching. And dude, it's not that easy, bro. Nothing is. Not just me sitting by the fucking river staring into the water. God's piling me with information to give to someone. I'm just constantly taking in shit and processing it. I get tired, bro. Just turn off the lights. I don't want to see anymore. I don't want to think. I don't want to feel. It's too much. There's so much to experience in life, but each experience is so powerful. And that's why I can't go out there and have those kind of experiences like you, because they're too overwhelming and powerful. I don't have what it takes to hold a job. I can't stand still for 5 hours. I don't think so. I don't know where my mind and emotions will go. Anything can trigger me. And then we have a fucking 5-day period that'll come every month that'll destroy me, where I literally can't attend work. I'm not built like you guys. If God doesn't take care of me, then, you know what I mean? I'm gonna kill myself trying. The only way I could do it was with my brain turned off. The only way I could make it through that world, your world, is with my brain turned off. And that's how most of you are. You're totally turned off. You're not awake at all. There may be celebrations, blah, blah, blah. Reversed Ace of Cups indicates emotional disappointment and sadness. This could be a relationship breakup, infertility, a miscarriage, or depression. And something so simplistic as that, as you got over it. I thought I got over this. I thought I'm over this. And here it comes again. The Six of Cups. Now I'm feeling sad about this all over again. I'm like, it just happened. I literally spent a whole week getting over this. Why is this coming back up? I'm right back in it again. I'm fighting harder than I did the first time. It hurts more than the first time. I'm trying harder. There's no brownie point for healing. You did a great job today. Nobody knows what I'm really dealing with. And I don't expect you to. But could you just be caring? Could you just, like, hold me while I try to figure this out? If I was in a mental institution, right? And my healing is their job. Each day I come out and we talk about some shit and it fucks me up and I have a terrible day and I go home, I go back and I cry and I sleep the whole day and I don't talk to nobody and nothing else happens. But then you come back tomorrow to do it again to me. And you come back every day and you do it to me. There's no brownie point for that. You just stay in perpetual pain. Your healing is nothing but pain. There's moments of pause where, you know what I mean? You get a happy meal. They'll take you outside for a little while. You get like an hour of free time. My healing is my healing, but the healing I do heals the world because it changed what I learn. I can change other people's way of life too. How I learn to live a better life is how I change people. You know what I mean? The way that God guides me how to change my life is the way that, you know, He can do that, guides other people into a better way of life. I have to do this for me so that I can have a better day. I can make it through my day. I'm fine. I'm bored. I don't know what to do. I don't have a friend. I don't like stuff on TV. I'm real bored a lot. So I sit and, you know, watch and listen, and I don't really stay around here. in the physical. And that's leaving the mind. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing here for me. Again, like I said, I don't really like anything about this world. This world is, you know what I mean? It's just really hard. There's not a lot of stuff I like about it. I go outside and, you know, good meals, a laugh and stuff. There's not much I enjoy. You know what I mean? But I have to make it through my days. And so, like, I'll find something to do to keep myself in a happy place. But then something will come and remind me of why I'm not happy. And I have to deal with that unhappiness to get back to my happy place. But my happy place isn't somewhere in this world. It's right back to being all alone again. I've had to make loneliness a happy place for me because that's where I am. I don't really want to get a job. I just want to be part of something. And really, I don't. I'd like people to stop saying I'm not part of anything because God put me so far apart. Like I'm not capable of being part of something. But the truth is I'm not. I'm very specially built. You don't put special needs people in every position. I didn't know that I needed so much tender care and, you know what I mean, lovingness, but the option is do this for myself or, you know what I mean, be crazy. I don't think you get it. Trying to maintain, trying to live up to expectations, trying to hide my feelings is what made me crazy. Trying to put on that mask, just go to do work. That's how I lost everything, you know what I mean? I got the job at the hotel, and I walked in there, I made, everybody had a uniform, but I made it different, and I overdressed it up, and I put up the makeup, and I made all these girls competitive. I made it different, dude. It was a big thing. I owned that position, right? Now, I come in looking like this, and nobody knows what's really happening. What's really happening? I've just moved out of a homeless shelter into my first apartment. I've just gotten left again. I have nothing but my children. I'm very suffering, really bad, but when I go to work, nobody knows nothing. I met Bobby. I really liked him, but I could not let him know what was really going on in my life. I had just moved into that apartment. 7 years later, I invite him into my apartment and tell him, as if it was yesterday, I got this from homelessness. It's not the best. Not realizing that I wasn't where I was when I met him, but it still felt that way. I wasn't, you know what I mean? Nobody knew what was wrong with me. Nobody knew anything was wrong with me because I made sure that nobody knew what was wrong with me. But in doing that, that's what was keeping me crazy. I was hiding me. I was hiding me completely, bro. Behind jobs, behind clothes, behind materialism, bro. If I go out and get a job and put on your little uniform and act like your little employee, then I'm hiding what I really am, which is what? I'm a whole fucking earth angel. I'm a divine being in human skin, trying to hide in this matrix like I'm not what I am. I'm trying to hide what I am all the time. And maybe you're not a whole secret being in earth skin, but you're hiding who you are too, because you don't want them to be mean to you. And he asked me, are you homeless? Oh man, he's not gonna like me no more. Yeah, I'm homeless. God made me homeless. I didn't do this. I worked hard. I drove myself crazy to never be homeless. I worked so hard to never be this, but this is who I am. Please love me for who I am, not because of what I can be, but because of who I really am. How could you love me if you didn't know who I really was? And nobody did. I
I don't even know the person that they know. But that's another version of who I really was. Whoever they know is who I really was, but that's not me. How could they have known me when I was hiding so much of me? And did they even really like me when they didn't even know who I really was? And the new me, this me, is worth so much more liking than the other me. How could you want me to be that? And it all starts with a job. That mentality all starts with a job. All I need to do is get a job, and I can build a kingdom. And that's what I taught my children. That's what I taught both of my ex-husbands. That's what I taught everyone. I taught them my bad behaviors. My son called me last night on his new cell phone to tell me about his new job. That's all we talked about was work. Gotta get a job, bro. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta have a job. It doesn't have to be respectable. You just gotta have a job. It's kind of like the only thing I ever learned, I guess. Be the best at that job. Be better than everyone else. Use that job to get you a better job. There's like these things that stuck in my head that people taught us that I just lived by. So something as simplistic as like, if I don't have a job and I don't have a house, then I don't have anything and I'm nobody. And that's what God shows you is everybody's somebody. And those things don't make that person special. And that's what you see mine, but then you see the mirror of the celebrities. It's like just because you have a job doesn't mean you're special. And that's what I show about the priest. Just because they have a church doesn't mean they love God more than me and they're closer to God and they have a better place in heaven because they have a church. And that's where we stop this, division. But yeah, bro, humility. Like, in the beginning, it's like, why the fuck are you humiliating me? That's where humility comes from. Humiliation is what it is. When you stand in front of a crowd and they laugh at you, the whole crowd is laughing at you. The whole world is laughing at me, God. You don't die at that moment, bro. You have to overcome it. And when you pull yourself off the stage and you pull the fucking pie off your face and you wash yourself off, God says, wow, I'm really proud of you for standing there and taking that. You know, your brother did that too. Jesus took it like that. There's nothing prideful about my life. It's just honorable. It's like you're asking them to be part of nothing. Yeah, but from nothing we can create something pretty amazing when two minds come together. As you can see, mine doesn't work. But I can manifest. Give me an idea and I'll tell you how to make it. I just don't see what you see. It's hard being authentic, being different, honoring what you know to be right against how wrong it feels. I like to have a sense of, pride sometimes. But that's where this comes from, is I'm always proud about what God's doing. There's no pride in me. The flesh, and that's what it says, it's like my flesh is all weak, bro. But my spirit, my power comes in my obedience, and to surrender is the hardest thing. To be all about the fight and then stop fighting. It's like, wait, what? No. Did somebody say fight? Did you say what? Hold on, let me grab my sword. Hold on, and then you get left behind all the time. Imagine if they blackballed Achilles, said no more. We don't want you in our fights no more. Then he'd just go start fighting something else. He was made to fight. And so, you know what I mean? For something else, some other cause. I don't give a shit. I'm just here to fight. That's what I do. But if God said no more fight, how hard would it be for him to give up his life for the new life? You might fight God in that. No. No. Your fire is your willpower. Your waters are your emotions. The willpower is fire, right? How do you put the fire out? With your heart. It's the fight. It's the battle of the mind and the heart. My mind wants to have control. It wants certain things. My heart knows better. And none of those things are even important. It's literally just a sense of control. To be part of is to be, you know what I mean? I'm an effigy. I'm a ghost of a human being. Without, you know what I mean, some kind of position that you guys have. That position gives you power. Your job gives you power. You get to use that as, something. Well, at least I went to work today. Or I'm the best at my job. Or, so-and-so works at, they work at Google. So, they work on a computer like everybody fucking else. They work at the computer. The computer that we all work on, they work for. So, do they have any better computers? Nope. They're just a bunch of, like in the sense of, he's a rapper. So am I. He gets paid more. Yeah, he works hella hard. He's out there fucking signing and, doing the most. And that's it too. That's what I told her. You sell weed, bro. But that's not what you're doing when you go to work. You don't need a fucking PhD to do this shit. You don't have to overextend. They came in with a certain amount of money. You're just trying to get more out of them. It's called a hustler. To make yourself feel good. Did you need that money? Did you need to work that hard for it? And that's what it is. It's like, that's what God gets me. It's like, do you need money? No. Then why do you want a job? So that I can say that I have one? Just to say that I have what other people have? A sense of pride? But I have a job that nobody else can do. Nobody else can do what I do. And I can't turn it off to go do something else. That's what I was saying. It's like, I can't turn this off, bro. It does not turn off. My daughter was talking about it yesterday. She said, did you know that there's a disease that people have where they can feel other people's pain? I was like, yeah, it's a total disease, what I have. She started looking up the medical terms of it. I forgot what she called it. And I was like, yeah, but you can't turn it off. And then it's one of those people, she was telling me how they use them in the career. So, like, for people that don't have vocal cords, that can't express their feelings, an empath like this person, or whatever they're called, can feel their pain and tell them what's wrong with this person. Right? But we don't get to turn that off. It's like, I can't turn this off. I feel everything. I can't turn it off. You know what I mean? Going back to drugs and alcohol. I could dose a big thing of mushrooms to turn off the sensitivity levels to other people. But just like Joe Bart says, the come down is weird. It feels weird. Meaning all the feelings come back too fast. What? Everything you saw, you feel all at once. When you were seeing it and you didn't feel it, it just stored in your memory bank. You were taking, it's the same fucking thing, bro. It's just a pause. It doesn't make anything go away. It comes back in full force that right after, just like every other drug. Gotta be honest, bro. I gotta be honest. That's what happens when they come down the next day. I'm like seeing everything that I went through and feeling it all at once. At once, not one memory at a time, all of it at once. It's talk about an emotionally mushy. You know what I mean? It's like I could turn this off for a minute, but I'm gonna feel so much more tomorrow. This is gonna hurt me more tomorrow. And that's kind of what it is, you know, when you guys do your drugs and alcohol or sex. It's like this is gonna turn it off for a minute, but after we're done, I'm really gonna have to face this. And that's why I'm doing drugs. I gotta tell you the honest truth. It's in all of my stories. Why did you stop doing drugs? The calm downs. When I would come out of drugs, I hated myself so much that I wanted to die. The guilt, the shame, the regret, the embarrassment, the self-loathing was suicidal, bro. Every time. I didn't like that feeling. Not in the sense where I wanted to stay up all the time, no. That was even worse. I was a drug dealer or around drug dealers all the fucking time. You seen it in my posts, dude. They just come to me. You saw that guy with this enormous bag of mushrooms? I didn't find someone with a small bag. These people always have kilos, bro. Like, here's a free bag of fucking destroy yourself. It's always been that way, bro. I have to stop this shit. When you're a giving, friendly person, people seem to be giving and friendly too, you mostly. I can't really remember purchasing drugs, just being given all the fucking time. Here's a bag. Here. You wanna do some? Here. In the sense of, why did you have friends like that? They didn't bother me. But they did, you know, and that's where you realize it's like, oh, you're hanging out with the wrong groups. Just because they're not robbing you doesn't mean that they're not robbing everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, they may not have took your credit card, but that is a hot credit card they're using right now. My sister did some shit like that, bro. I couldn't believe that shit, bro. I just thought she should have known better, bro. We went to leave the family fucking... I'm just snitching on these bitches. I don't give a fuck. They hate me anyways. It's their fucking sins, not mine. So, they have the family reunion out in Vegas. It's the Ware family, and I'm only married in. Who brought the white one? You know that he was married to a... Anyways, whatever. I push myself in on this. I get hotel rooms for everybody. I get everybody hotel rooms with my hotels and this and that and all this shit. I hook everyone up. I go to leave. And my sister owes me some money for, you know, for the situation. And she's like, she wants to put gas in my car on a hot credit card. I'm like, no, I'm cool, bro. I got into a fight with her over COVID. Both of them. They called me because they wanted to ask me, they knew I had gotten the PPP loans for my, you know, as a Lyft driver. They wanted to know how to fill out the paperwork so they could get it, but they didn't have an actual legitimate business. They were trying to fake the paperwork. And I jumped all over them. And my sister's like, she raises her voice to me and she's like, I'm not fucking turning down nobody's free money. It's not free, bitch. You're lying and cheating to get it. That's not free. And you're older, and that's where I got them. It's like, you guys are 10 years older than me, and you call me with this shit. You're supposed to be, you know what I mean? You call me to help you fucking cheat and steal from the government, like I just do shit like that? Like I'm like you? They did, bro. Did they do it? They probably did. They probably called someone else after me. This was the same sister that filed for my brother's fucking, you know, filed my brother's children on her taxes. The same sister that goes and celebrates her deceased husband with her new husband. The one that killed her and was murdered for drug use and all of that. Every fucking year she goes to his grave and celebrates his life that destroyed hers with her current husband. Talk about fucking holding on to the past. What's the last thing I said to that bitch? Your 600-pound childhood wounds are showing. That was the last time I talked to that bitch. That's your family. Yeah, I guess. It's either them or no one, right? No, I'm cool. I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. I don't need sisters. You know about my brother? You know about him? Nah. I don't need family, bro. Friends? Oh, let me tell you about all the friends I've had over the years. How wonderful they were to me. Nah, bro. I try with full expectancy that this will work and that, you know what I mean, I can build a relationship and things will be cool. But I'm too forgiving to the uncool shit. That Queen of Cups gets me in trouble, bro. Turning my shoulder, you know, being forgiving and understanding about the fact, you know, and then the fucking dark side comes out, and it's like polarized opposite of what I was giving you, and now we're in a dark space. Meaning I was all cool about it until I had to light you up and tell you you're being a whole prostitute at your job. I'm all about you being a boss bitch until all of a sudden now I'm telling you you're a whole prostitute at your job. That you might as well be a stripper doing all that. You know what I mean? And that's at extremes. It's like, okay, I can't be nice no more. We have to be real. This is real. Real is ugly. It's about to get ugly. Am I lying? No. Would they want to attack me if they knew I was saying this? Yes. But why? What would they say? Oh, that fucking bitch, and she's out here talking all that shit, and this, that, and the other. That's exactly what Terrell did. He jumped up on my life. Oh, and you shouldn't be out here talking all that craziness. That's not a good look for your music. He was threatening my career because I was telling the truth. I was like, wait, you didn't do all this? This isn't what's really going on? You aren't selling drugs? You aren't doing all this? You shouldn't be out here talking all crazy. You shouldn't be out here acting all crazy, bro. You don't want nobody to see the truth? You're going to silence me because I told the truth? The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God? You're going to take a person out because you're out here acting dumb? When I went to the fucking studio to do this banishment, it was in last month or the month before. When I went to the studio, it was Terrell's release party for his third installment of Bipolar. He stole the idea 3 years ago when I was making mine. My whole story was about my personality disorder. He was the coach that helped me. I spent tons of money on him, gave him tons of money to help me make this project, for him to take the creative project and make it his own. Not only did that, he fucking booked his fucking first release, his album release party, the day of my first show, which was New Year's Eve New Year's weekend, so that nobody could show up to my show because they had to show up to his stupid release party for this stupid fucking Bipolar album. 3 years later, God puts me in front of the fucking studio in front of all of them and burn, baby, burn. None of them would come out and face me. The owner himself came out, sent some girls and said they were going to call the police. You're so big and bad now, huh? Where's your fucking music? You're selling $40 tickets to a fucking release party that's at the fucking studio? You can't even get a venue? Sorry, I got a little heated in that. In the essence of, yeah, bro, I fucking loved you, and look what you did to me. I loved all of you, bro. That's all I fucking did, was love you and love you and love you and love you and love you until I couldn't take it anymore. I don't know how to do anything else but love you. Because I'm really grateful. There's nothing wrong with it, bro. I'm really grateful to make a new friend. I'm grateful for your energy. I'm grateful for a conversation. I'm grateful you talk to me. I really want to make a friend out of you. I'm willing to, you know what I mean? I'm willing to bend my boundaries. I'm willing to turn my cheek. I'm willing to forgive a lot of shit. Because I really want a friend. I'm willing to work real hard at keeping a friend. Until I realize what I've done. This isn't a fucking friend. You're entertaining a whole fucking enemy right now. Or at least that's what the Bible says. That's what I said to Bobby, bro. I'm your friend. Dude, who needs enemies if they have friends like you? It was real friendly, Bobby, just to disappear like that. You knew all I wanted to do was talk to you, and you just disappeared on me like that. Real friendly. How do you face yourself in the mirror? You don't. The reverse Ace of Cups is disappointment, sadness. You may be feeling as though your faith has let you down and your spiritual connection is lost. And that's where I was on Saturday. It's like, God, you failed me, bro. You fucking failed me on this. Remember, the Grail is always present, always available, and you can choose whether to accept or reject it. I have to do this all the time. That's why I don't want to. I don't want to think about anything. If you think about the future, it brings up the past. If you think about the past, it makes you feel like you have no future. All I can do is stay in the present. And yeah, I avoid a lot of things that I know are gonna, you know what I mean, push me into healing. Why? Because it's all I do. Sometimes I get tired of it, bro. It is all I do. It is all I do around here. I don't tell you everything. Like the other day when I told you, Blue's Clues, Steve from Blue's Clues came out, and I cried so hard. You don't understand how hard that hurt me. How deep of a deep sorrow I sunk into with that man in that picture. How hard it was to come back out of it. I didn't. I cried myself to sleep. Getting up every day and putting myself out there is the best that I can do sometimes. And sometimes I can't do that. And that's okay. Because it's, accepting my vulnerabilities is more powerful than showing you how powerful I am. I have great stories of all my power and what I can accomplish. But the hardest thing that I accomplish every day is dealing with my feelings about what's been done. I had a lifetime of hurt that I didn't let myself feel the hurt. I just became angry about. And now I have to stop that anger and feel the hurt. It still makes me very angry. And as much as I try to let it go and alright, it's okay. It'll come back up and it hurts just as much as it did the first time. And I'm twice as angry about it because I'm dealing with it again. I want it to all go away. I want to be okay. Who do I blame, bro? I blame my family. I blame my husbands. It's not one person, bro. It was every person in my life. Do I sit there and look at myself as you're powerless, you're a weak bitch, anybody can come and hurt you? No, because if you look at it, I didn't let any of them to hurt me. It's going back and realizing that anybody can hurt me. And that's why I have to be very careful to protect myself. Because when it turns into hurt, it doesn't. It turns into anger. Well, why can anybody hurt me? Because I'm so hurt. If I wasn't so hurt, I wouldn't be so butthurt about everything else. I want to be strong and stable, emotionally sound. That's not what's in there, bro. Yeah, it all went away, but it didn't. In the essence, I woke up and I didn't know anything. But it's hidden in there, bro, and it comes out. And I have to deal with it. And some of the hardest things are just trying not to be part of, you know what I mean? Trying to be the old me. Oh man, I just want to get a job. I just want to have, you know what I mean, the pride of certain things. I just want certain things. But those things are no good for me, and I really don't want them. I can't think of one job I want to sit around doing, stand around 5 hours a day doing. I can't even fully do this for 5 hours. And I love this. I couldn't sit in a studio for 5 hours. I can't watch a 2-hour movie. It's you can't focus? No, partially, yeah. Stuff like that, too. You'd have to be clinically insane or turn off all of your emotional receptors to function successfully in this world without it affecting you. So just wake up every day, go to work, act like nothing bothers you, come home every day, do this every week, week after week, week after week, week after week. Your brain is turned off, bro. If you can literally manage to be a robot every day, your brain is turned off, bro. Your feelings are turned off. I'm not saying that you should have emotional spikes like we do. But to deny that a week is emotional and all the emotions that come in a week or a day, in the morning, getting ready, before bed, anything you do brings so much emotional, you know what I mean, awareness. Like, oh, fuck. I can feel right now, I don't even know if you can hear it, but I can feel people moving in their rooms on the fucking, I can feel their movement, their steps on the floor. Right above me? No, I think it's actually more than that. If I go in my room and I lay in that bed, I can hear people 2, 3, 4 rooms over in their room. Are they that loud? No. I'm just that in tune with shit. I could tell you right now where what floor both elevators are on. I can feel the movement of it. I can tell you which direction the wind is blowing outside of the front door right this moment. I can feel it. If I can feel all of that outside, what do you think my feelings inside feel like? It's intense, bro. Knocks me down. So yeah, I gotta stay away from everybody and everything, but what kind of life is that? And that's where I'm trying to, find this. What the fuck do I do with myself? I try to go out, take myself out somewhere and I regret it immediately. Why did you do this? You knew better than to do this. I thought I could handle it. It's not so much mental when it becomes spiritual, you know what I mean? You deal with the mental only for it to become spiritual. It's all about feelings. We started with your feelings, we end with your feelings, and all the illusions between them. All the illusions and confusions of your feelings. It's pretty much what it says is your heart is open, and then it's going to close, and then it's going to be reopen. How does the heart work? It pumps. Just like that. It opens, it lets blood in, pumps, lets blood out. We let experiences in, it pumps, we let experiences out. Yeah, it's an organ, but we are. When you're working through your heart space, that's it. It's like my heart is taking in so much. It's putting out so much. With that being said, I put out as much as I could today. Again, I gotta do laundry and wash my car. It's not too impossible. They're really not. It's just going out and seeing the world and being part of it. It's a heavy world out there, very dense. Lots of emotions, lots of stuff to learn from. When you go to the aquarium, right? It's just a nice little journey through the aquarium, but there's so much to take on. When you watch a documentary, it's just a movie, you're just sitting still. But you took on so much, you went through a roller coaster of emotions during this 2-hour adventure. Life is an adventure. If you're aware of what's happening when it's happening, the happening is heavy. And that's it too, if you're not fulfilled, it's because you're not really feeling what's going on. You shouldn't be craving more feelings. Everything has so much overwhelming feeling to it that you really shouldn't be out there, craving. Going back to rest, you're craving attention because you're not paying attention. You're craving attention because you're not giving it to yourself. You want the attention from someone outside, but you know what I mean? You're denying yourself the same thing you're searching for. Give yourself the attention you need. You really don't need it from anyone else because they don't know what you need. And when giving yourself attention, you decide that, Looking back, stalker ex-husbands that watch me, it's like they know now why it didn't work. I never knew you needed that. I never knew that's what you were going through. I never knew that's how you felt. I didn't know what was up with you. That explains so much of why you act like that, why you did that. And that's it, is me spending this time understanding myself helps everybody else understand me too. As I find compassion and forgiveness in my ways, so do as everyone else. And they find respect in the fact that I know that I become aware that this isn't a good way and I try to change that way. And that's the inspiration. It's like, I'm not going to make an excuse for this. I know I've been doing this. I'm trying to stop it.
Stop saying the F word. I'm trying. I called everybody that, dude. I don't give a shit. And it was never a gay person, bro. I always use that word against straight men. Always. Never. Why? Because they're fucking offended by it. Doesn't offend a gay person. It shouldn't. In the essence, that's how it became a hate word, is because we use this in a hateful way against others. Not them. And I had a good talk with Joe about that. Joe was a Christian gay man. He was married and everything. And I talked to him about that, you know, my ignorance about stuff like that. He taught me a lot about that. In the essence, we become aware of our behaviors are hurtful to other people. And rather than making excuses, we accommodate. Why? Because we can. There's nothing wrong with us changing. We can change up. I can change up my ways to make you feel more comfortable. If not, then you're never going to be a good father or mother. If you can't soften up your ways to these children, you're not, you know what I mean? These are God's children. Softer approach is what this is going to be called. Love yous. Laters. Bye.